Howie Sankumi. Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm sure everybody's having a lovely day today. The weather's great, everybody's happy. Hopefully. I'm not sure, but everything's good at the moment. Today's class is going to be similar to the last couple of weeks. I'm just going to talk a little bit, introduce some grammar, expressions, and vocabulary, and then we're going to have a Zoom class. Today's class, I will go through the questions that will be on Zoom. Hopefully, this will be 25-30-minute video. Pause me when I say to, fill in the blanks. And remember, I'm asking for the worksheets after you've finished the Zoom class, so don't forget to write in partner's answers. Or if you don't get the partner's answer, make sure that you write down your opinion, okay? The idea is just try your best. The page numbers above me, they're all for what we need to know for the final exam. Page 110, 11, 12, 16. There's some vocabulary and grammar. That's what we're going to study today. So everybody, sankomi. Let's do this. All right, let's start. Bye-bye. Before we start, I want you to just do a little bit of a tongue twister. So this week, I want students to practice how they say things, their pronunciation. So take a deep breath and try your best. Just go through it slowly the first time, and then second time try and do it a little bit faster. It's just pronunciation. So I'll do the easy one that's above me. I saw Susie sitting in a shoe shine shop. Where she sits, she shines, and where she shines, she sits. So pause me now. You've practiced, so hopefully you practiced. Let's try it again. So I saw Susie sitting in a shoe shine shop. Where she sits, she shines, and where she shines, she sits. Bam! Try it again a little faster. Okay, you did it. Let's go on to the difficult one. So I'll do half and half. So just try your best. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. Pause. Practice. And do the second part. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? So just try it once. Now we're going to try it fast. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? Bam! Your turn. Alright, let's go on. That's just for fun. Today's class is all about ethics and values. Ethics and values have a very similar meaning. It's ethics, what's right and wrong. Values, what people believe in. So they're very similar, but they are different. I know you study this in high school and maybe middle school. So the idea is just finding out about people. What do they think? How do they react to something? Now, to begin with, I made a very simple word search. The word search has the words from today's class. So here is your word search. Just spend a couple of minutes trying to find the words. You can practice your pronunciation and say it after me. So, moral, dilemma, honesty, dishonest, ethics, kindness, values, thief, goodwill, and nasty. So what I would like you to do is to go to the word search quickly. I've already shown you it. Just 2 minutes. Try to find the words. So just for 2 minutes, find the words. And if you don't know the meaning, I want you to write down the meaning. So write down the meaning. In Korean, in English, it's okay, but try to write it down. So pause me now. All right. Here we go. Let's go through the answers. Maybe I need to move over here. Okay, that's better. Moral, the principles of right or wrong. Next one, dilemma, a problem or a situation you face that gives you lots of stress. A dilemma, like what should I do? What should happen? The next one, quality of being honest. Honesty. Dishonest, not being honest. Next one, ethics. The moral principles of people, what people believe in, like this. Being kind or generous. Values, what is important in life. So your values in life could be to have a happy family, things that are important to you. But you could also have values like what is right or wrong. So they do come together. So ethics and values kind of cross a little bit. The next one, did you find it? Did you find it? Did you find it in your word search? So thief, what's thief? Thief is someone who steals. Could you find the answer? No, because he stole the answer. Ah, Fraser. Fraser's AJ gag is terrible. So a thief steals, it stole the answer from the worksheet. I'm sorry. Next one, goodwill, friendly or helpful. You know, people who have goodwill, they are friendly, helpful people. Goodwill means doing something nice for other people. Nasty is behaving in a bad way. I'm sorry for my terrible, jokey AJ gag. Maybe you spent a long time trying to find it, so. The idea of page 110 talks about moral and dilemma. Dilemma is a problem. When we have a difficult choice, we say we face a dilemma. We face a difficult problem, like what should we do in this? Our morals change from person to person. What I think is the right answer is different from other people because it depends on how honest you are. So in English we say you have a moral compass. Go straight is like the right answer, you know, like that is the kind or good way, you know, it's that moral compass is straight, then we always do everything in a good way. But if it's off compass, then we do maybe a bad thing. So these are the reasons and things that we're going to do today. Now, I've made your worksheet so that you have a situation. And I just want you to do free talking kind of thing in Zoom, where you'll ask them the situation and then you can talk together, like what would you do? So on your worksheet, you can see underneath there, you have a list of questions here. These questions are different on one worksheet and the other, and you're just going to talk together. Ask your partner, what would you do in this situation? So the first worksheet, it says you find $20, like 2만 원, on a bus seat. Do you ask around and say, hey, is this yours? Or do you just keep it? Oh, like, 신봤다, yeah. Next one, your friend has left his or her email open on the computer at school. Is it okay to look at the inbox? Or what happens if you see your name? Would you look at it? Oh, Fraser, oh, like that. Next one, the clerk at the grocery store gives you too much change. So you pay with Manon and she gives you back Manon. What do? Do you say something? Is it okay to take free sample of something even though you won't buy it? So you go to Costco or Traders or Emart, HUFS, and you just eat sample. Is that okay? You don't buy it, never buy it, but you eat the meat or eat something. Is it okay? The food at a restaurant in America is less than stellar. So the food in America is bad, but you still have to give a tip. So should you give a bad tip to the waitress? She didn't make the food. Or would you still give a good tip? So for the server, would you give money, like a good tip, even though the food is bad? On the second worksheet, the questions are like this. You wear a new shirt once, but you don't like it. Is it okay to take it back, get a refund or change it? You're about to serve food to guests at a dinner party and you drop something. So I have cake and it's on the floor. Nobody sees it. Just put the cake on the plate. Here you are. Is it okay? The next one, you find a wallet containing $500. Nobody sees you pick it up. Do you take some money out of the wallet and then give it back, or do you expect a reward? So maybe you're like, oh hey, I found your wallet. There was $400 in it. Here you are. And then you keep it, or do you just, oh, I found your wallet, all the money, and then you hope to get some money back. Next one, you make a promise 1 month ago, but then your friend's best friend calls you to make a plan. The last one, you forgot to do your homework, but you decide to copy and paste, Control-C, Control-V from Wikipedia and pretend it's your homework. Is it okay? So if I go on the internet, Google, find the answer, and just copy paste for my homework, is it okay? Yes or no? Okay, these are the situations. This is for Zoom time. So you'll talk to your partner. You can just write down yes or no, I agree, I disagree, whatever you want on there, but to talk together. Let's go on to the next one. Page 111 here is the photo story. I want you to just think about the first thing. Where are they? What happened in picture number 2? What do you think they are saying in number 3? So first of all, just look at the photos and answer those questions. After that, you can read through and try to answer the questions. How did the plate break? Is the dish expensive? What does Noah want to do? When you know those answers, you'll understand the meaning. And in the story, there's like a red dot. The red dot expression is important. So we need to know the meanings of them. So we're going to do part C in a minute. But first of all, read the story. Answer the questions on the screen. So pause me now. Let's go through the first parts. Where are they? They're in some kind of store. What happened in number 2? Plate is broken. What do you think they're saying? Now sometimes students say for number 3, they're like, oh, I love you, or hey, what's going on? You know, it's not dating place, okay? Maybe they're actually saying like, let's run away, or what should we do? So the first one, how did it break? It broke when you picked it up. Is the dish expensive? Yes, he thinks so. Noah wants to just put it back. Don't tell anybody, just run away, like pretend nothing's happened. So this is their morals. What did they do? And so the idea is in that dialogue, there's a couple of expressions, there's 5 of them, and there's 5 to matching together with it. So the first one is an arm and a leg. The next one is split. Next one, put yourself in someone's shoes. Next one, a drop in the bucket. Number 5, I couldn't face myself. So pause me now, matching them together, go, go, go. So let's go through it. The first one, an arm and a leg. C, it means it costs a lot of money. If something's an arm and a leg, it costs a lot. 2, split. E means to leave. Oh, let's split. It means to leave the place. Next one, put yourself in someone's shoes. D, imagine something from another person's point of view. A drop in the bucket, it means a small amount. Bucket, like something is very big, and then a drop is just very small. So it means a very small amount. I couldn't face myself. It means I would feel bad. Oh, I couldn't face myself. It means like you look in the mirror and then you see shame. So you're like, oh, that's really bad. Why did I do that? So that's the meaning. I couldn't face myself. We use in this way. So all you have to do is talk to your partner. Ask them the questions. The questions are going to be easy questions. Like, for example, what is your favorite thing that costs an arm and a leg? So what's your favorite thing that's expensive? Do you think that people should split the bill when they go on a date? So Dutch pay, good or not? Split here means 50-50, split. Not split to leave. So should they split the bill? Dutch pay. Have you ever had to be in someone else's shoes? Literally. This means did you have to wear your brother, father, sister's, mother's shoes, like this situation? Have you ever done something bad you couldn't face yourself? Like you got a bad test score, so you're like, oh, shame. So have you ever done anything really bad so you feel shame? Which coffee is a drop in the bucket for you on campus? If you've not been to campus, your hometown. It means where is cheap coffee for you in your hometown, like that. On the other worksheet, a little different. Have you ever split from a party or meeting event? This means have you ever escaped? So maybe you're at a party and you're like, oh, I'm going to the toilet, and then you split. So this time, leave. Did you ever leave quietly or secretly, like that? Which restaurant in Mosa costs an arm and a leg to you? So which, Mosa is Mohyun Sagori. So which restaurant in Mohyun or in your hometown is really expensive to you? If you could be in someone else's shoes, anyone, if you could be in anyone's shoes for the day, who would you choose and why? So if you could be another person, who would you be and why? Have you ever made a mistake so bad that you couldn't face your parents? So have you ever done anything bad, like shame, that you couldn't tell your parents? What clothes store is a drop in the bucket to you? Where can you buy cheap clothes? So those are the questions. That's for Zoom. Guess what? It's time for a break. Take a short break. Coffee is the best option. Take a short break, and then we're going to go on to the next part. So, Sankumi, take a break. It's warm-up time. So, I saw a kitten eating chicken in the kitchen. So you want to say it fast 3 times. So try it fast 3 times. I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Just say it fast 3 times. She sells seashells by the seashore. Say it fast 3 times, and then you're good to go. Okay, so this part is page 112. It's talking about the unreal conditional. Unreal conditional. What is a conditional? First of all, let's think about the sentence. Conditional has if clause, something with if in, and this introduces the situation, the condition. The result clause says what happens in this situation. So that would be a real conditional. So a real conditional expresses real things, things that actually happen. So for example, if I don't use English in the speaking test, Fraser will give me a bad grade. So you can see here, if it says will, we're talking about something that's true, that is going to happen. Unreal conditionals, they look at something that's imaginary. It's not true. So if I look at this example, if I were you, I would study harder. First of all, am I you? Am I? No! So it's not true. The idea is, if it's an unreal conditional, it's talking about a situation that's not true. So, if I found a wallet in the street, I'd return it. The first part of the unreal conditional sentence uses the past tense. So in this case, the if clause, the first part, found, simple past tense. In the result clause, you can see we have would and then the base form of the verb. I would return it. I'd return it, like this. So simple past, would plus base form. On your worksheet, I've put down here the grammar very easily so that you can see it. And I've put down a couple of questions here. And I'd like you just to ask your partner to see what they would do. So each time you're just practicing, what would you do? So talk to your partner in Zoom and just say to them, if you had won the lottery yesterday, what would you do? Now this grammar is a little bit different, not just won. If you won the lottery yesterday, what would you do? In English, we usually say had won. It's just an expression. Hey, if you had won, if you won the lot. Usually we don't say if you won. So that's why if you had won the lottery yesterday. If you met BTS at a festival, what would you do? And then your partner would be like, oh, I would take a picture with them. If you had 20,000 won for lunch, where would you eat? I would eat at Vips, like this. All of these are just ask them the question, give them the situation, ask them what would you do, and just write down their answer. If you were Fraser, what would you do? Like this. The questions are easy, and as you can see, the questions are a little bit different, but almost the same. So just ask your partner the questions, and then you can just practice, and then we can move on to the grammar. Now, if you look at the example box on page 112, there's some simple ones. It says, if I had to make a hard decision, do you have to make a hard decision? No, you don't. It's hypothetical. It's not real. If she knew how to speak French, does she know? No. If you broke something, did you break it? No. Next one. If you were Matt, are you Matt? No. Next one. If I were you, am I you? No. And the last one. If you weren't my friend, are you my friend? Yes. So this is the negative form. So it means it's not true. So for example, if you weren't my friend, it means you are my friend. Of course, we're friends. Best friends, right? So that's why we're doing it this way. The idea is these are all hypothetical. These are all examples in there. You can write it both ways. So you can have the if clause first, but there's always a comma. If I knew, I would tell you. It means I don't know. I would tell you if I knew. If you do the result first, no comma. The comma is only in the middle if the if clause comes first. Okay? Okay, let's go on to the next part. The next part is part A. You're going to look at the unreal conditional sentences and check them. So if it follows the grammar, or if you can understand the meaning, you'll be able to check it. So the idea is look at the sentence, just look at it, think about am I you, yes or no, like this, easy things, and look at the grammar. The simple past is usually were, and then the result is would tell. So if you look at the fifth one, it says, if I were you, I'd tell him the truth. So if it follows the grammar, the simple past, and then result is would and base form, then you know it's an unreal. You can check it. If it's got will or other kinds of tenses, you know it's a real conditional. We don't want to check it. So I only want unreal conditional. So in A, look at the sentences and check the unreal one. So following the grammar, simple past, result, would plus base form of the verb. So pause me now. Let's go through it. So the answers you checked were number 1, number 4, 5, and 7. So in all of these, they follow this simple grammar. Okay? Now we're going to try to do B. B is just filling in the blank. All you have to do is look at the verbs that they give you and put in the right form. So the if clause is simple past, result, would, and tell. If you make a question, the order is a little bit different. So, if you're making a question, you would usually have question word, and you'd say the result. What would happen if, like this. So question form is different, but you can write it either way. Like, if I found money on the street, I'd probably keep it. I'd probably keep the money if I found it on the street. Follow this grammar and fill in the blanks. So, pause me. Let's go through the answers. Put, would, and buy, filling in the 3 blanks. 2, would say. I'm sure you would say something if the restaurant clerk were wrong. No, was wrong. Was is used when we're talking to friends. It's incorrect grammar. Okay? You have to use were. If I were you, always were. In formal situation, in a test, always were. But you can say was, but it's wrong. It's a mistake that people make when they're talking. Number 3, found, couldn't, wouldn't keep. If I found an expensive piece of jewelry in the public bathroom and couldn't find it, so past tense, cannot, could not do it, I wouldn't keep it. So they're saying the negative form. Next one, were, would say, so it's easy to follow. Number 6, had, would give. Next one, would happen if it snowed. They would go if they had the money. If you received it, would you send one back? And if they were, would you tell them what happened? Hopefully you got the right answers. Hopefully you followed the pattern. Simple past, result, would, and base form of the verb. So let's move on. Page 116 is very simple. It's talking about, different kinds of values that people have. And in English, there's a couple of things you need to know in part B. So at the bottom, there's old-fashioned, there's double standard, there's sexist, and modesty. I want you to do part B. Read the sentence and check which one is the correct meaning. So it says, but lots of people are old-fashioned and they don't think men should wear earrings. So then you have 2 choices, A and B. Preferring the way things were in the past, preferring the way things are now. And you choose the correct answer, A or B. What's the answer? That's right, it's A. Pause me now and do the other 3. It should take just 1 minute. Pause it. That's right, double standard is B. Having different rules for different people. Sexist, A. Not treating men and women in the same way. And modesty? A. Wearing clothes that cover one's body. So those are the correct answers. I've made a very easy thing for you to do on your worksheet. All I want you to do in Zoom time is talk together and ask your partner what do they think. So you'll say to your partner, what do you think about getting a tattoo? And then you can write down, great, love it, bad idea, anything. Use many swear or curse words. Swear word is bad talking. So F-bomb, F-word is a bad word. Curse word, swear word. What about piercing ears or face or body? Like what would you think about ear piercing, face piercing, nose piercing, that kind of thing. Dyeing one's hair a wild color. Wild means crazy. So what do you think about dyeing blonde? Okay, but what about blonde, pink, blue, yellow, like mixed all together? What about wearing short clothes, like really, really short clothes, like hot pants for Fraser? Or maybe wearing a short skirt, like these kind of things. What do you think about people's values? What do you think they think? It's okay or not okay? So all I want you to do is talk to your partner in Zoom and ask your questions, okay? It's really easy to do. Okay, and everybody, that's it for today's class. Today's class is easy, hopefully. And you managed to write down all the answers and you knew what they were talking about. You got all the grammar and the vocab. Today was a little bit shorter, a little bit easier. So in the time for class, ask your questions. It's Zoom time, so you'll talk together and it'll be perfect. Go to Zoom, ask the questions, don't be shy. It's the final time to do this. It's going to be your final time to see each other like this, so just practice. Finally, I've also made another video about your speaking assignment, which is next week or the week after. I explain everything in the video, so look at the video, watch it carefully, and make sure you understand it, because I will post your times and the things that are required for your speaking assessment in that video link. The times will be on eClass, but you will be able to find it. Everyone, that's it for today. Sankumi, I miss you all. I wish we could have a class together, and I'll see you hopefully in online class soon.